Check your email.
Welcome back. Tracking a remnant architect.
Okay. We're gonna do all the missions on Aya. And then we'll go back to Kadara. Then we'll go to Nexus. Because we got a lot of stuff here. Damn, another mission?
Honor to meet you, Pathfinder. Initiative Pilot Marixus. I run supplies to your outposts.
What brings you to Aya?
For survival supplies, only Aya has. I'm waiting on clearance to enter the city, but it's taking too long. I understand their caution, but the outposts need these supplies. I have to get them, now.
They let me into the city? I can help.
I appreciate that. To start, EOS needs a way to produce food to support population growth. They've requested quinoa seeds to begin their own crops. There's an agricultural scientist who might sell some.
I'll make sure to get those seeds.
Settlers on Kadara are suffering from a bacterial infection. They need Angaran antibiotics to fight it. A medic in the city should be able to help.
Got it. They'll have that medicine in no time.
Eladin's water purifier can't keep up with demand. They're requesting one of those Angaran ionic filters. There are engineers who work in the aqueducts here. I'll bet they have what we need.
On it. One filter coming up.
Wait, do you seriously have more missions?
Pathfinder, more of your outposts need help, if you have time. Vol's power grid is lagging without proper solar input. The solar amplifier would give them a boost. The solar technicians here may have the required parts.
I'll see what I can find.
You're always a welcome sight, Pathfinder. Still no word from our search vessel. How goes your hunt for the missing satellites?
Your people caught scavengers from Kadara port stealing them. There was a fight. Your ship lost.
I sent them out. And risked your life, too. The scavengers. Angaran? Have our deserters preyed upon us again?
Must say, afraid so.
We caught up to them. They attacked without warning. Might have been Rokar. We fought them off and recovered what was left of the satellites.
I'm so sorry, Pathfinder. And ashamed. This is not who we are. Please accept my apologies. I hope you can look past this.
It's not your fault. Kadara's full of bad people.
They chose to stand alone. They'll suffer the consequences. I'll file a report with our leaders. Perhaps it's time the Resistance got involved. We'll rebuild the satellites and return them to space. I'll keep you updated with our latest charts.
Thank you, Mariko.
No, Pathfinder. Thank you.
I don't really remember, so...
Pathfinder, I studied the Angaran astronomer's data transfer. His files begin before the satellites. The initiative will benefit tremendously from this.
And all I had to do was lie to him. Thanks, Sam.
Oh, I guess it was, Outcasts. And not Rokar. Oh well.
The Moshai said you remember when the Ket arrived.
My father's oldest friend was chosen to be Volt's ambassador to the Ket. The day he left, they embraced as brothers. All the Ket sent back was his badge, and a holo recording I wasn't allowed to watch. I was too young to understand why everyone was scared, why my father mourned for months.
Why kill an ambassador and risk retaliation?
They told us it was retaliation for Havarl's attack on their envoy. Havarl received the same story, but in that one, we were the aggressors. We were so busy blaming each other. We were divided when the Ket launched their assault. They'll try the same with you. Be ready.
You work on the solar panels? Do you have an amplifier for solar energy?
Nothing as big as these, but I have a smaller one on hand. Do you need it?
Okay, I think there's someone here.
Ambassador, I trust our people had a smooth transition to Aya.
The Angara have been gracious. Everything's going well.
Good. Keep me updated. 10 out.
I've never lied to a director before. Pathfinder, it's a pleasure. I'm Ambassador Riala, Chief Diplomat for the Initiative on Aya. I was removed from Cryo specifically for this. Quite the wake-up call.
I know what it's like, jumping out of the cryopod and into the fire.
You've had it far worse. My condolences on your loss. I hear you're to thank for our new ties with Aya. This is our best shot at an alliance. Now we just need to keep our people from wrecking it, no matter how hard they try.
If something's wrong, I need to know.
Maybe you can help me fix it. A Solarian botanist named Sorvis Len is here, learning how to improve our crops. He sent an urgent comm, saying a member of the Angaran resistance had threatened him.
What happened?
I'm not sure. Sorvis is an excellent scientist, but not the best communicator. I'm concerned this could escalate if someone doesn't look into it, but I don't have the staff to spare.
I can go settle things. I'm a friendly face for both sides.
That would be helpful. With any luck, we can prevent this from getting worse.
What's our end goal for Aya?
A strong alliance is all we can ask for. It's what we're working toward. Heleus is the Angara's home. They dictate the terms of this partnership, not us. We need them as allies, and they could benefit from us. But we have to tread lightly.
Show them we're not invaders.
Historically, when two civilizations meet, one consumes or destroys the other. We need to break that cycle.
How many of our people have they let into the city?
A strictly limited number, and only certain professions. Scientists, engineers, and scholars. The Angara have agreed to allow some of our people to work in Aya's research facilities.
That's huge.
It's more than I expected. Tan wants me to push for social visits, but I'm holding my ground. We need to move at their pace. They've been extraordinarily gracious, all things considered. I'll take whatever they're willing to give.
Aside from Storvis Len, is everything okay? Need anything else?
Actually, yes. Director Tan gave me a project. He wants more Aya natives to live on the Nexus. He thinks it will deepen our partnership. A few Angara expressed interest, but none of them will agree to live on the Nexus without speaking to you first.
Why me?
After what you've accomplished? I didn't want to bother you, but you asked. I'll point you towards the candidates. If you could convince them to transfer, I'd be grateful.
She may lie.
I'm here if you need anything.
To get them to stay.
The ambassador's messages are overflowing again. Pathfinder.
So to go back to the port, let's talk to the other guy.
When I first escorted you through our city, I wasn't sure it was the right thing, but you proved I was wrong to doubt. No, more than that. You didn't have to save the captives from exaltation. I wonder if you realize what that meant to us.
None of us will be safe until we stop the Ket for good.
I've learned to enjoy small victories when they come. What can I do for you?
I'm hoping you can get me on Ephra's good side.
If I knew how to do that, my job would be much simpler.
Sometimes it seems like you two don't get along at all. And other times...
He's a brilliant tactician and inspiring leader. We just disagree on what's best for our people. He believes secrecy and isolation keep us safe.
What do you believe?
We can't defeat the Ket alone. And neither can your initiative.
I have a few questions about your culture.
I'm happy to answer them.
Don't take this the wrong way, but this isn't your only city, right?
Not at all. Vold and Havarl both have several large population centers. Aya has numerous residential areas similar to this.
Are these places open for visitors?
In time, perhaps.
Okay.
I've noticed that you, Ephra, and Jal all speak with different accents.
When the Scourge first struck, there were many Angaran worlds. They were separated for centuries. We developed divergent cultures and dialects. Ephra was born on Vold, and Jal is from Havarl.
What about you?
The Ket left my homeworld in ruins. Those who survived were forced to flee. We found a refuge on Aya. My family helped settle this world.
Aya seems important to the Angara.
Aya is paradise. This world is a gift. We created the Vassals so everyone could enjoy this place, if only for a short time.
The Vassal?
The time of change. Aya's resources are too limited for our entire population to live here. We each earn the privilege of spending a few years on Aya. When our time is up, we leave to make room for someone new. The cycle repeats throughout our lives.
Will you have to leave?
Someday. For now, Aya needs me.
Your people revere the Moshai. What did she do to earn that?
After the Scourge, our civilization was in ruins. Those who led the rebuilding were thinkers, experts, and inventors. The Moshai is the greatest scientific mind of our generation. She led us to a new age of technological innovation. When the Ket attacked, she studied their technology, learned their tactics.
You owe your survival to her.
We owe her everything, and we'll do anything to protect her.
So, what do you do for fun around here?
The Tavatan is a popular spot for recreational activity.
Right, but what do you do? Can't work all the time.
Productivity is the best form of relaxation.
It's also a great way to get stressed out.
You sound like my brothers. All 10 of them.
10?
And 8 sisters. They're not allowed to bother me at work.
What's it like being responsible for a whole planet?
I suspect it's like being the Pathfinder. Some days it's a burden. Most of the time, I know I'm where I should be.
How did you become governor? Do your people elect leaders by popular vote?
If by vote, you mean argue loudly until one candidate remains, then yes. I got here because I was willing to endure and fight for the obligations that come with my office.
Is there time in your busy schedule to meet someone special?
Everyone is special to me, in their own way.
Not what I meant.
Oh. No, that isn't a priority right now. Someday, maybe.
I sense tension between your government and the Resistance. Who's actually in charge?
Ephra likes giving orders, right until the actual work of running a city starts. The Resistance is good at protecting us from the Ket, but our people need more. I've learned to indulge Ephra's need for control, just often enough to maintain my own.
10 brothers and 8 sisters. You have a big family.
I've always thought of it as average. How many siblings do you have?
Just one. My sister, Sarah.
What happened to the others?
Our parents only had 2 children. Underachievers.
That sounds relaxing. When my family gets together, the noise is like standing next to our largest waterfall. My mother says I became governor so people would have to listen to me.
Is she right?
Always.
Why didn't you tell me about Kadara Port when I first arrived?
I assumed you already knew. We didn't realize there was a difference between your exiles and the Initiative.
Fair enough.
As for Venterev, Ephra hid his betrayal from everyone. He'll answer for that.
Okay, cool.
Thanks for your time.
Ishare, Pathfinder.
We learned a little bit more. Okay. Regulating exchanges between the Initiative and everyone, essentially.
Indulge in a little luxury.
Nope, this way. Nope, the other way. That one. Alright, let's see if we can do this right.
Ambassador Riala said you're thinking of moving to the Nexus.
Pathfinder. I'm honored even to be considered for the transfer, but I won't be happy as just an observer. I need to work. I engineer power systems. Will I be allowed employment alongside your people?
That's the whole point of this exchange. The Nexus needs people like you.
That's all I needed to hear. I'll have your ambassador start the transfer. Thank you.
See, why not? We're doing the same thing. If Tan doesn't like you, he can shove it.
Can you imagine venturing into space only to find more of your own people?
We discovered the first relay. What if instead of Turians?
We found humans. Gives me chills just thinking about it.
That's actually pretty cool. Alright, let's keep it going through.
I said you'd want to hear my experience with the Ket, to learn from it.
I do. Tell me about it.
They had just arrived. I was on a civilian shuttle to Volt when we received a message. The spaceport was on lockdown. Security concerns due to the Ket. We were supposed to land on a nearby moon and wait for the all clear. Instead of landing, the shuttle captain turned back. Something felt wrong, he said. Later we learned it was a Ket transmission to isolate us for capture. The captain had saved our lives.
The enemy uses confusion to take advantage of the vulnerable.
Many shuttles obeyed that false order. Those people were never seen again.
Okay.
Weird question. You don't have any Kiloa seeds, do you?
Yes, I do. Need some?
You're one of Ambassador Riala's candidates to live on the Nexus.
I am. Glad you finally showed up. Let's get down to it. I've lived my whole life wanting to meet aliens who didn't want me dead. But my family's here. How can I stay in touch with them from the Nexus?
You'll have ways to send them text messages and comm transmissions.
I want contact with the people I love.
Oh.
You offer machines. Not good enough, Pathfinder.
Never saw that. I should have thought the family's here, so of course. Never saw that. I know I'm safe scumming a little bit.
You're one of Ambassador Reality.
I am. I've lived my whole life. How can I stay in touch with them from the Nexus?
You can send messages, talk to them on the comm. We'll even arrange a visit.
You get it. All right. I'm in.
Yeah, 'cause I'm an idiot and didn't read that right.
Layer of security between yourself and danger.
I'm not selling to aliens.
You're right. Look all right.
Fine. Everyone make plan. We're still good. Something I can do for you?
I'll get moving.
Oh, I think that's the Moshai I'm seeing. Which we'll get there eventually.
Do you work on water filtration here?
I designed the system for it.
Can you sell me an ionic filter? My people need it on Eladin.
If they're tough enough for Eladin, they deserve help. Here.
I can't work under these conditions. What does it take to be left alone?
Ease off. I'm here to help. You reported that someone in the Resistance threatened you. Tell me exactly what happened.
I didn't know Riala was sending the Pathfinder. I deserve no less, of course.
Guy's arrogant.
I was measuring the photonic dispersal from the canopies when some random brute interrupted me. I asked him to move, and he got nasty. Said it was my fault his friend was dead. Ridiculous.
Do you know what he meant by that?
He ranted nonsense about a vessel and selling slots to outsiders. He got right up in my face and compared me to a ket. He wanted to kill me. I could see it in his eyes. The whole conversation made no sense. I think he was inebriated.
Sounds like there's more to this. Don't suppose you caught his name?
Didn't ask, didn't want it, didn't need it. When he left, I tagged him with infrared dye from my sample kit. Invisible to the naked eye, but not to a scanner.
I'll scan people around the Resistance headquarters. See if I find him.
You're supposed to represent our interests on Aya. Go, represent. I have work to do.
You and the Pathfinder seem close.
Yes, I value his help. Hello, Pathfinder. Any good news for me?
I picked this up. Any idea what it might be?
How in the skies did you find an Angaran star map? One that still works, even. It must be pre-Scourge. If we analyze it, we can learn where our people traveled before the Dark Age.
Do you know much about where your ancestors traveled?
No, not at all. The Scourge wiped out nearly everything. We're only just beginning to travel again.
Could they have made it to another galaxy, like us?
It's possible. For all we know, there are entire Angaran worlds beyond our reach.
I picked up this figure earlier. It might be Angaran.
This is unfamiliar to me. It does resemble an Angara, but it looks so strange. It's clearly centuries old. Is it an artistic interpretation, or is this what we really look like? The implications. Pathfinder, you may have discovered our earliest artifact yet.
Does that win me any points?
I'd say you're getting there.
Is this Angaran? I found it on one of your homeworlds.
Son above. It's an ancient Ravan, a musical instrument. It uses Angara's body energy to produce music. We have them now, but nothing this beautiful. The songs it played were probably lost long ago. How much culture have we forgotten? Art, music, stories, it's all gone.
Because of you, it won't disappear completely.
Yes, I can be determined.
I admire it.
You say that now. You've given me more to study than I ever expected. I've got a lot of work ahead. Thank you for your help, Pathfinder. I'll let you know if I discover anything. Good to see you again.
I should get moving.
Effect should have come to me.
Axel, I'm all right.
You almost died. What's he doing here?
I asked the Moshai to set up a meeting. I don't want us to be enemies.
Is this true?
Axel, Ryder rescued me from the Ket. He risked his life to...
Sloane Kelly saved Kadara. Look how that went.
I don't condone what happened on Kadara, but one bad experience doesn't define an entire species.
Your kind has a history of treating each other unfairly. Just ask the Krogan.
How did you...
I've been watching you. You're invaders just like the Ket, except less cautious.
What does that mean?
You'll know soon enough. Do not trust them, Chauvin.
Axel... He didn't used to be like this. He was curious, brilliant. But the Ket... Even without exaltation, they change us.
There's still time to bring him around.
I want to believe that, but his hatred towards aliens...
I'll prove we can be trusted.
I hope so.
Ryder, we just received an emergency recording from EOS. Come to the meeting room when you get back to the Tempest.
I am supposed to talk to him.
Pathfinder, Ambassador Riala didn't think you'd have time for me.
She said you needed to talk before agreeing to live on the Nexus.
This is the opportunity of a lifetime. I'm an anthropologist, but I've only ever studied my own people. I've heard the Nexus is home to multiple species and cultures. It will be fascinating and possibly dangerous. Bacteria, viruses, other contaminants. My family worries about me. Are you sure I'll be safe?
They wouldn't let me on Aya if I was a walking petri dish, would they?
You aren't taking this seriously enough to satisfy my family. I can't go without their blessing. I'm sorry.
What? I never knew that was going to be sarcastic. Come on, Ryder.
Pathfinder,
She said you...
This is... I've heard bacteria, viruses, other contaminants. My family worries about me. Are you sure I'll be safe?
We'll take every precaution. But entering an alien environment is always a risk.
I appreciate your honesty, and so will my family.
The Moshae said we should speak. You remember the Ket's arrival?
One of them came to our city on a vow to offer lavish gifts. We lined up along the street to watch the alien walk with our ambassador. As it passed, it stopped and knelt in front of me. I still dream of what it said. Young one, you are meant for greatness.
The Ket lured your people into a false friendship.
It worked. A month later, our council disappeared. Our city was thrown into chaos. When the Ket came again, it was to conquer us at our weakest. They're cunning. They know what you desire and they offer it. Be careful.